Welcome to Stampscaping 101. In the last video I was doing something that involved a lot of texture with the use of kind of the bleaching out of some layered dye-based inks, and I was watching that video and it occurred to me that I could have done something even, I could have taken that texture one step further, and I thought I'd want to do that on this video, and just to do a little experimentation. I went into, the spraying of the surface with some water and a bleaching technique, which kind of removed some inks. And I want to try something with the bleed-proof white again that I used on a previous video. Okay, now I'm mixing up some conch shell Adirondack Lights. I think it's now lemonade, and I'm mixing up some Marvy Pale Orange. I was looking for my Peach Bellini re-inker, and I couldn't find it, so I'm going to mix up a couple of re-inkers and get some color down here. Now, I just cleaned this tip here, and I didn't clean it, really well, so it's kind of giving me a brownish color. And but that's fine, I just want to get some tone down here that's kind of warm in temperature. And just to get kind of a good saturation of it down. Alright. Okay. That's that. I'm moving on to a number 78 Marvy Orchid now. I'm kind of going for this kind of S-curve. I've always kind of liked that movement, and that's kind of the motion I'm going to be going after in this. This is going to be kind of kind of whimsical flame kind of looking movement, I guess you can say. Swatch. The center of this card is going to be darker than the outside area. I don't want to take these colors kind of extreme. It's going to be kind of a pinkish brown color scheme. This is the number 9 pink. It's going to be super bright. And that's what I want, because I'm kind of interested in what's going to happen with the the spraying of this surface to get some texture down. So I don't know what it'll look like, but we'll see. Okay, this is a pale violet from Marvy, the number 31. Okay, I'm going to go over pink, but maybe not go in quite as far. It's starting to look like an eyeball or something to me. Sometimes if you kind of compose things at an angle, it gives it the composition kind of movement, kind of a dynamic, more dynamic compositional structure that way. This is number brown. It's the number 6 brown, one of my favorite colors. It's a warm brown. Okay, let's make things a little bit more, sporadic here. Okay, let me just use some of it here and there. Okay, let me see, I was thinking about going for some even more texture. This is the Cloud Alto Cumulus stamp. Pretty good texture. You can use this as a water texture as well. Okay, that's using the brown. This is violet right here, the number 8. Marvy. Okay, something like that. Let's use that Marvy actually. Let's go back to that and use it to add tone as well. Okay. Actually, that violet looks like it's getting kind of dry on me. I'll have to re-ink it. Okay, this is the number 18. Dark brown. Okay, now I want to get this composition, or this background, fairly dark. So I'm going to be taking a lot of this dark brown. I should have re-inked it. That's alright, maybe I'll spend more time with the black then. Okay, that's enough of the dark brown. And this is the black. Okay. Things don't have to be perfectly smooth. Okay, let's close this in a little bit. I have too much light coming out from that center area for my taste. For what I want to do, I'm using this on the side sometimes and going for this swatch. You notice how I'm always kind of dragging this down towards me. That's the nice ergonomic motion, and in doing so I'm not going to be ripping, tearing my stylus tools by scrubbing back and forth. Okay. Okay, it's kind of like an abstract painting that I'm doing now, almost. Dabbing down, trying to get some additional ink to adhere. Okay. Kind of ominous looking now, almost. Yeah. It's like you're looking through, you have like a worm's eye, or maybe even closer, like a microscopic view of a flame or something. Okay. Alright. Now, let's see what this looks like. Okay. Various tones, of course. You know, I might do this again and I get some color scheme that looks completely different from that. You never know. Let's do something here. Just to change color scheme slightly, this is the number 60 Salvia Blue Marvy. And let's just get a little of that hue right in the center there, just to mix things up a little bit. Okay. Alright. I kind of like that. Alright. Here comes the water. Let's spray it down. See how it looks. A little extra coverage down there. Okay. Okay. Kind of concentrated it more in the center area right here. And I'll start to let it get set up and let it start to kind of remove or bleach out. You see that textured surface that it's starting to achieve? And in terms of that water. Kind of celestial, huh? Okay. Gotta let it do its work there. Let it kind of eat away. Alright, before I get to anything else, I have this Dr. Martin's bleed-proof white. It's a paint that is super opaque. When you put it over something, it doesn't get that whatever's underneath it bleeding through. Alright, and I'm going to use some of that on this scene here. Okay, let me expedite this process a little bit now by removing some of that moisture there. Okay. And with this Dr. Martin's bleed-proof white, I'm going to use that with a toothbrush here and try to go for this kind of splatter painting technique. And I'm going with the toothbrush as opposed to a soft paintbrush because I think this will splatter better. I was looking for a paintbrush, but I couldn't find one though, so I thought, let me try a paintbrush. Okay. Alright. Let me try to zoom in here so you can see what's going on here a little bit better. And let's see if this works. Okay, I'm going to take this on my thumb. I'm going to pull it back this way. See that kind of happening a little bit? In the nature of a splatter, it's kind of, oops, I got that big gigantic blob there. I guess it dripped off that. Oh well. As we see in the stamping world, we're gonna go with it. Okay, you see that kind of happening now? That's about as close as I can get. And where you want more of it, just concentrate more. Okay. You can achieve somewhat of a random look that way. Let me see if I can get that out of there. I was gonna say I was gonna just leave that in there, but it's a bit large, so for my taste. Okay, let me see if I can get it out of there. That blob of paint. Okay, no problem. And let's just go in there and... Okay. Alright, reasonably pleased with that. I should practice that before doing a video on the technique, but I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta get into it and do it, right? Alright. Okay, now that's not what I'm just gonna leave it at. Let's see, how much time do I have? Okay, now in the last video, I stamped out some imagery. Let's do this. I need something pretty dark in the background there. This is the large flock. I thought about this, and I thought, well, I'm going to... oops, sorry about that. This is the large flock. I thought, I want to do something like there's some birds kind of flying up into the heavens, so to speak. And I liked using these birds in the past to do something like this. I'm stamping them in the Versafine because I want a real dark black. Something like that. And let's go for a smaller version. There's large and small. Let me go for a second impression up there, like that, something like that. It's like they're circling up there, like so. All right, now just to kind of frame them off, let me try something like this. Where do I want to go for the curvy branch again? Kind of might be interesting. Now let's try it. Let's go for the Versamagic again. Sorry to use the same two stamps, 2 videos in a row. Alright, I need to shut down and do this in part 2.